Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, former wire winger has an issue downstairs, plus results, build-up and scorers from the 3 NRL Saturday games. So we start today with those games in the NRL, as there were 3 played on Saturday morning, Saturday evening, wherever you are in the world. And those 3 games are Gold Coast Titans versus Canberra Raiders, Cronulla Sharks versus South Sydney Rabbitohs, and Brisbane Broncos versus West Tigers. And we go into the review, results and scorers of the first game of the day as the Gold Coast Titans face Canberra Raiders. And with wins in 3 of their past 4 games, the Raiders were finding form at the right time and head to Cbus Super Stadium full of confidence after a comeback victory over the Warriors. After tackling the Titans on Saturday, Ricky Stuart's men have matches to come against the Panthers, Dragons, Knights and Sea Eagles, as well as the West Tigers, so they are well positioned to make a return to the finals after missing out last year. The Titans have shown some positive signs in the past fortnight against the Broncos and the Bulldogs respectively, but they still remain equal last and face an uphill battle to avoid the second successive wooden spoon in 4 years. The Titans have tasted victory on home turf. They've not since round 4, to be fair, so they'll be keen to give their fans something to cheer about by upsetting the apple cart of one of the top 8 contenders. So that comes to the business of the teams. The Titans have Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, their club captain, moving to prop, with Erin Clark starting at lock, following a couple of impressive outings in the middle forward. Isaac Liu is the man to make way, moving to the interchange bench, which once included Jayden Campbell. The Raiders themselves are 1-17 for the team that got the job done against the Warriors, with no late changes to their squad, with Sharsney and Nickel Klugstad as the 18th player. Xavier Savage has been looking really good in recent form, and Jack Whiten has been pulling the strings with Jamal Fogarty. Josh Papali'i will be looking to lead the front, with Elliot Whitehead the only English contingent in the starting lineup, with Ryan Sutton on the bench. And it was the Raiders that came away with the victory, 36 points to 24, despite playing 10 minutes without one of their star players, as Joseph Tarpenny with the sin bin. It was the Raiders that got up the ball rolling, with Matthew Timoko scoring on the 4th minute, which Brian Kelly equalised for to make it 6-all, with Toby Sexton adding the extras after Jamal Fogarty converted the Timoko try. It was Nick Kotrick with a double next on the 20th and 26th minute, with Jamal Fogarty kicking 1 of the 2 tries. But just before half-time, Tane Boyd scored for the Titans, with Sexton kicking on the stroke of half-time to make it 16 points to 12 in the Raiders' favour. Hudson Young and Sebastian Kris doubled up the lead for the Raiders, with Fogarty once again only converting the Hudson Young try, before Jayden Campbell scored on the 56th minute to give Titans some hope. Despite the sin binning, it was Jason Tarpenny with the next try on the 65th minute, as Sebastian Kris rounded off the try-scoring exploits for the Raiders, and also the point scoring for them. Jayden Campbell did score another try at the last minute, and Toby Sexton kicked 4 from 4, while Jamal Fogarty kicked 4 from 7. It was enough for the Raiders to win, 36 points to 24. The second game saw the Rabbitohs take on the Cronulla Sharks, and a possible move into the top 4 is at stake for the Rabbitohs in round 20, whilst the third place Sharks will be looking to build momentum after an impressive performance in the eventual loss to Penrith last Saturday. Cronulla matched and for large periods outplayed Penrith in round 19 and were in the match right up until Jerome Luai's 77th minute try that puts the game beyond their reach. The Rabbitohs head to PointsBet Stadium in red hot form, having won their last 4 matches, including a 24-12 victory over the Storm last weekend. The two clubs have met just once a year for the past 6 years, with the Rabbitohs winning 4 of those clashes. So going into the the rundown lineups, whatever you want to call it, the Sharks have no late changes on game day after Dale Finucane's 2-game ban for dangerous contact on Tuesday night saw Cameron McInnes join the starting side at lock and veteran forward Aidan Tolman returning to the bench. Cade Dykes is the 18th man. For the Rabbitohs, there are no late changes and no suspensions and no injuries after they originally named their squad. Daniel Saluka Fafita comes into the starting side after being 18th man last week in place of the injured Mark Nichols. Tane Milne returns from a finger injury, but in the New South Wales Cup. But all eyes will be looking on Latrell Mitchell for the Rabbitohs and also Nico Hines for the Sharks, as these two have been making the difference for the two sides all season. Lachlan Ilias will be looking to be busy around the halves, while you know that left edge of Alex Johnston will be the reason why if they win today. And what a game this was, with the Sharks coming out 21 points to 20 in the second period of Golden Point extra time. When Alex Johnson went over on the 11th minute, it was after Latrell Mitchell had kicked a penalty on the 4th minute to make it a Rabbitohs 8-0 lead, as he added the extras to Johnson's left edge try. Connor Tracy used his pace to get around the outside of Johnson to score on the 19th minute, which Hines added the extras from the edge to make it 8 points to 6, but Hines added a penalty for the Sharks to make it 30 on the 31st minute to make it 8-all. Then the try of the game, with Ronaldo Mulitalo jumping the highest to claim a ball, not even touching a man. His knees were at least 5 foot off the floor. Simply perfect. Getting on the end of a crossfield kick from Nico Hines to score on the left side of the pitch just before half-time. After half-time, a grubber into the in-goal area from Walker was fumbled by a Sharks player back into it, further into the in-goal area, closer towards the post, and it was Latrell Mitchell who got on the end of it on the 42nd minute to score a response try just after half-time. Mitchell added the extras. As you see here, they're going try, score, all the way through. Andrew Fafita turned back the years to 2016 Grand Final to bump off and power over to score on the 67th minute, copying his brother from the day before, as you see in the highlights from my video late last night. Hines again was perfect with the boot, and then Tavita Tataola went over with a controversial try which looked like a double movement, which the bunker called as one single movement. Your guess is as good as me. We go into Golden Point extra time because Latrell Mitchell hit the post, but it still went over for 20 points to 20 in normal time. And after 2 attempts from Latrell Mitchell to go for a drop goal, which both went to the left of the post rather than over it, it was Moylan who had the first attempt from the Sharks, and he himself missed to the left as well. We check swap ends, and Latrell Mitchell has another go after a rampaging Tom Burgess attempt of getting the Rabbitohs up the pitch. 30-40 metres he ran, broke the tackle, fantastic effort. But Mitchell's drop goal went to the left once again. And the decision that changed the game in one direction, as Tom Burgess was sent off on the 86th minute for a reckless high tackle on Ronaldo Mulitalo. At some glances you'd say he's grabbed the arms, but it was so high, it was shoulder, neck, he had to go. He had to go on that front. But Tom Burgess looked like that he was in the wars as well, as he had bandages over his nose, on his cheek and on his neck. This set of 6 set up the final play, and that was for Nico Hines to convert the drop goal to send the Sharks fans home with the victory, 21 points to 20. It's been an interesting week to say the least for former Warrington and Widnes winger Jack Johnson, as he has had a testicle removed after it exploded in a training session. The 23-year-old, who plays as a fullback or a winger for Betfred Championship side Newcastle Thunder, has been involved in the game last week where he was a try scorer in the Thunder's dramatic 24 points to 24 draw against Dewsbury, as Dennis Bett's side shared the spoils at Kingston Park. But days later, in a freak accident, Johnson's testicle exploded in training as a result. And as a result, the former Rochdale Hornets player made his way to the hospital. In a Twitter post making light of the situation, Johnson confirmed his testicle has now been removed. Apologies for the bad language. What a load of bollocks. Not my greatest Thursday ever, with the old testicle exploding at training. Had it removed last night. We'll be back soon, just a little bit lighter. As the saying goes, rugby league wins again. P.S. Does the Swelling stay asking for a friend? It's a great sign to see that he has the levity around this situation. And don't worry about it, Jack. He's not the only sportsman to have one of his testicles removed after an incident in training. Going outside the sport, MMA fighter Christian Lawson reportedly took a knee to the nuts, and was taken to hospital, where he ended up having one of his testicles surgically removed. In the sport itself, New Zealand Warriors halfback Chanel Harris-Tavita played 45 minutes with a ruptured testicle in an NRL game against Melbourne Storm back in April. Meanwhile, former teammate of Johnson's Jack Hughes had a testicle rupture in a game back in 2019, and he went on to play the full game. There are also players from the past, like former Warrington player, so I recognise a theme here, but I don't think it's coincidental. Paul Wood had a testicle removed after rupturing it in Warrington's grand final defeat to Leeds back in 2012. The prop played the game before going to hospital to have it removed after the game was completed. And the final game today was between the Brisbane Broncos and the West Tigers, as the Tigers will be looking to put Sunday's Townsville heartbreak behind them when they travel to Brisbane to tackle the high-flying Broncos. Having taken one of the competition's heavyweights to the wire, the Tigers should be walking a little bit taller today, but the deflating nature of the loss will have left them feeling a little bit flat. The Broncos, meanwhile, continue to march on and are now inside the top 4 with all their remaining matches against sides lower than them in the ladder. The renaissance under the astute leadership of Adam Reynolds has been remarkable, and with a top 4 finish at their mercy, they can dare to dream of a premiership, of their first premiership since 2016. Anyway, let's see how the teams go. From the team that was called on Tuesday, there are no late changes to the Broncos side. Origin winger Selwyn Cobbo remains sidelined with a concussion symptoms, but Billy Walters is back on the team sheet at hooker after a hip injury, so Jake Turpin goes back to the reserves. Luis Hoyter replaces Jordan Pereira, who has an illness, on the wing, while Dane Mariner makes his debut at centre, pushing Brenko Lee to the reserves. For the Tigers, no further changes on game day after Luke Brooks drops out with a calf injury midweek. Jackson Hastings stays at lock position, and Jock Madden moves into the side at halfback. Interim coach Brett Camorley missed the Cowboys game after testing positive to COVID, but he'll be back calling the shots, as well as footy boss Tim Sheens, who will be their head coach next year. Tia Maria Martin is supposedly the subject of a move to New Zealand Warriors, but today he's the 18th man against the West Tigers for the Broncos. And a shock victory for West Tigers over the Broncos in Suncorp Stadium sees the Tigers go off the bottom of the table. It all started so well on the 11th minute when Brett Naden went over to open the scoring, with Adam Dewey scoring the first of his 5 conversions, as he was perfect with a boot all night. Ezra Mam scored on the 26th minute for the Broncos to give them back the lead, with Adam Reynolds converting both of the tries so far for the Broncos. Jock Madden scored on the 37th minute for a 12-all half-time lead. But it was the West that came out the sheds the better at half-time, as Stafford Toa scored on the 45th minute, which was followed quickly by Zane Musgrove. A powerful run through the middle. Jordan Ricky did get one back for the Broncos, but after an Adam Dewey penalty on the 73rd minute, he himself scored on the 75th minute to put the icing on the cake. Katoni Staggs took over the kicking from Adam Reynolds for Jordan Ricky's try, but the scoring ends there, with Adam Dewey scoring a total of 16 points to get the win for the West Tigers. And they're happy to not be in the wooden spoon position. And with that, that's another episode in the can. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide as we get the word out for Rugby League, and also click that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on the 3 results in the NRL from this morning. The comment section is open, it's for yours to play with. Please feel free to use the comment section for your comments, obviously. Please also tell me what your thoughts are on the injury for Jack Johnson. We all have the sympathy for him, but we also can laugh. I'm sure he is, because his Twitter page was the one that's laughing about it. And I do apologise to anyone that took offence to that in Warrington, but they've dropped a ball on that one. Boom. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I will now end by saying I wish you all the best, so please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.